As twins, our relationship's always been super.
Oh, hang on. Lots of people are entering the chat. What is happening? What is happening? Are we being raided? Oh, there it is, the stock guy. Holy moly. Holy frickin' moly. Oh my, whoa. Hello everyone. So you guys call it Tendy Man? Is that different to is that like a different version of Wellerman? I can sing Tendy. I don't know what that is, but I can sing that. We're getting pretty close to 10,000 followers. This is absolutely insane. You guys are amazing. The Tendy Man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. Soon may the Tendy Man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. Soon may the Tendy Man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. There once was a stock that was put to sea, and the name of the stock was GME. The price blew up and the shorts dipped down. Oh, my bully boys hold. Soon may the Tendy Man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. One may the Tendy Man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when Ryan Cohen joined the board. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take his shares and hold. Soon may the Tendy Man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the training is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the Tendy Man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the training is done, we'll take our gains and go. Soon may the Tendy Man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. You guys are all insane. Thank you so much.
That was cool. I like the anyway, sorry. Alright, you guys. Alright. Today we just got the news. Expected. I don't know if I'm expecting this, but Manuel, what's happening? Why are you crying? You didn't like the news? Not quite sure what's going on here, but I hope that's just, you know, you're scared or something. Cute emoji right there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that song. That was my most favorite song. There too. Second to the other one. Now, yes, there's a lot of synergy, you know, kind of bringing up about Bitcoin and all that stuff. Everybody's talking about it now. I'm sure a lot of people have been kind of making a lot of video about this and making me very, very bullish on GME. Obviously, the price went down because, again, you know, reason, right? When GME actually announced that they're going to, again, just the announcement or just picture with Ryan Cohen and the Michael Saylor, what happened? The stock went up 20% after hours, right? It makes no sense. 0 cent whatsoever. This is when the picture was with Ryan Cohen claiming that, oh, getting Bitcoin and all that stuff. And then when the actual news coming that, you know, GB is going to add Bitcoin into the treasury and doing it based on senior notes, based on the playbook of strategy. the stock went down. Of course, it's a reason, right? And again, this is on the backs of a huge earnings beat. Yes, the sales is down. I get it, and I understand where people coming from. Shrinking business, again, the same narrative, right? Now, again, I know the operational income was not as great as we want it to be, but again, they still come out ahead. We'll go through that a little bit here because I did a small discussion with somebody yesterday. So yeah, we will go through that a little bit. Hey, what's up, Sharon? Hi, Devin. Thank you. Call it. Bip up, bip down. Of course. There's a lot, you guys, there's a lot of traders, coming into the company now. And of course, Bitcoiners are going to be coming in. There's a lot of groups of people. I mean, think about this, okay? Bitcoiners are a lot bigger than GME, okay? So I'm thinking again, and then also to the micro strategy crowd as well. So those people are going to look into GME as a second run of something, right? Micro strategy 2.0 type thing. I'm not mad at that, not at all, but just be aware of the volatility for sure. Volatility is going to come into this stock and you're going to see that wild swing up and down, okay? Now, it's up to you if you want to sell and then take out profit or whatever. I don't mind that because, again, if you want to do that, that's your own risk. Have a price in mind, have a strategy in mind. If you want to do that, just, make sure that you're positioning the right way for the right reason, okay? So, and again, if you want to X out completely, that's on you. Okay, for me, again, I have my own strategy. I'm gonna implement that. This morning I sold all of my call. Thank goodness, because I was like immediately I know that they were gonna bring it down immediately in the morning. So I was able to take some profit there on my calls. Still have my shares. Hasn't done anything with it yet. What I was tempted to do though, which I didn't do quite yet, was to sell in the morning. But I was like, I don't want to take that chance, right? But I didn't. So thank goodness I didn't because again, but then, after hours, I was like, I should have grabbed it at the end. Again, the trader within my mind, like the psychology of the trader, obviously, but I stopped myself, obviously. I didn't do that. But yeah, a wild swing for sure. I was seeing my portfolio going, thousands of dollars swing up and down. But, there's more to come for sure, with this news coming, looming and everything. So I'm excited. Very excited because again, this is what I've been waiting for. Obviously, the Bitcoin thing, I didn't imagine it was going to be this quick. Crazy, right? So let me read the chat real quick. Okay, formation, then we're going to rip to the moon. Okay, all right. Let's hope that. Okay, happy Wednesday. I'm buying 10K worth of calls. All right. Wow. All right. You must be rich there. I only have a few calls this morning, so. Let me see. All right. Hey, Anthony, what's up? It's definitely going to go down further. Okay. Did you not take puts? No, I don't do puts. I'm very scared of that because again, I know I'm pretty skewed to the upside. Puts, I can't time it right. I feel, I'm very skewed. I know I'm flawed in that, but I don't want to do that. And with calls, I'd only do a few calls here and there. I don't do very much. And, I would much rather buy shares if that's, if at all possible. When in the news supposed to come? When is the news supposed to come? What do you mean by that? We have 4 years with Trump. No one can predict him. I know he just announced tariffs, right? And then everything goes down in price. People are just so emotional, you guys. Come on, like again, the whole tariffs thing, right? I'm sure he's trying to fix the country as much as he can and the best way he know how. And of course, tariff has always been on the plate, okay? And the fact that these people somehow the market is just like shaky. I don't think it was because of the tariffs, honestly. Yes, it may play a small role, but I think it has to do with the underlying economy more than anything. You know, we've known that the market has been over leveraged for quite some time, and so this might be the perfect excuse for these people to, you know, bring down the price and then blame it on tariffs, blame it on Trump's, right? But tariffs, yes, it's going to be short term affected by that, for sure. You know, price action. Whether it's going to affect GME, it's tough to tell because again, everything seems to affect GME, right? You know, other company that announced buying Bitcoin, they would go up, you know, 30% in a day. But for some reason, GME announcing buying Bitcoin, it immediately crashes. So again, just be aware that you are investing in a company that is highly prone to manipulation, which is, again, to me, I love this type of manipulation, right? Because I'm very skewed towards the upside. And, you know, in my logical mind is that every time I buy into shares, right, it is being suppressed down. The price that you are seeing right now is not the real price of GME. You know, because the price has been kind of, you know, those active management people, right? Ken Griffin talks about that, how, you know, he set the price of the security type thing. So they could do that at will. I'm not quite sure how are they gonna be able to stop this Bitcoin narrative right now, because now there is another parameter, okay, to measure GME as, okay? So the repricing is going to be fluctuating based on how many Bitcoin they are going to accumulate and how much Bitcoin is going to go up in price, right? Of course, the conventional wisdom right now that we are, you know, seeing a lot of Bitcoiners advocates that it's going to go up from here. Who knows, right? I've seen a lot of estimate, okay, 250,000, 300,000. My view is that I think based on the stock to flow, it's 500,000, okay, based on the stock to flow model. So that's going to be juicy for that price point, right? It's 5x from here. Assuming GME is going to use all $6 billion to do that, then they're going to be able to do at the peak, right? Hopefully they are selling at the peak. Then they're going to be able to make $30 billion from this, right? Assuming that they're going all in on Bitcoin. Okay. So that's, $30 billion. Let me write that down just to, again, that's on asset alone. If Bitcoin goes up to $500,000, which I think it's doable in this cycle, okay? So end of year is what I expect Bitcoin to go up to that price. Why? Again, it's based on the 4-year cycle. If you don't understand that, that's just, again, chart. Math, stock to flow model, and of course, right? There's a lot of narrative too about Bitcoin, surrounding Bitcoin and all that stuff that is even more bullish than this estimate right now, which is 500,000. of course, the maximum is $1 million a coin. So that's something to be thinking about. If it's $1 million a coin, this is going to be 2x this, right? So that's even more. The value of this company is going to be crazy. So wild swing up and down, okay? Now the share price, of course, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Of course, if they're able to suppress it or not, that's up to them. Like, it's the dumb stormtrooper effect type thing. Okay, so let me see myself here before I just not reading the thing. Okay, Trump has nothing to do with this market. Then I don't. Okay. How dare America compare? Okay. Trump got an impact on the stock market. GME is a part of the market. All right. Are we fighting over here? Okay. Okay. Means nothing. Yes, America. All right. Price is manipulated by Wall Street, created synthetic shorts and overshorting the stock, and inked there. That okay. Okay, then short this. Short the market if you think it's bad. All right, guys. I know. We have different opinions on Trump. It seems, and Anthony seems like he's thinking that Trump is affected by that. I know, like, there's some effect that Trump could have on the stock market. I'm not denying that, but I think again it's more complicated than that. He could affect it to the point where, yes, he could choose to announce certain things like tariffs scares the shit out of the stock market. For some reason, again, because of the profit margin of every company that you're seeing in the S&P 500, it eats up to the profit margin, right? And so again, when the valuation is already shaky, of course that's gonna take play in that. But let's just assume there's no tariffs and all that stuff. Do you think that the market will continue to go up? No, of course not. I think my point is that, people knows that Trump was going to win, when he got elected, obviously back in November, but for some reason the stock went up. Okay. The stock market, the whole SPY went up. Why is that? They know that he's going to implement tariffs, right? They know that. So why wasn't the stock market went down back then? Again, that's why I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with Trump. In that, it's just the timing of it, right? It's an excuse for these, Wall Streeters to cast the price down so that, again, it's they get to keep the most amount of money. And Warren Buffett kind of take a win of that, and he knows when to sell exactly. So, I'm sure, every billionaires out there, they know something, right? And when Warren Buffett sell and holds so much cash, more than the history of his Berkshire Hathaway, right? Then you have to take note. And I'm sure some people of institutional that are, trading and all that stuff, they do follow Warren Buffett as well. So some of the, price coming down, the stock market coming down, that's due to his own thing. I mean, that's due to, people copying, I'm sure, Warren Buffett as well. So a lot of time, people are sheeple. This is my point of view on the stock market in general. Unless somebody do something that they, wanting to follow, they typically follow them to the till. And then, they wouldn't necessarily have their own thesis on something. And so again, that's why they don't understand the investment that they got in. And so it's easily to blame it on some other external factors that, oh, so and so said this, that therefore the stock comes out. When all it is just had to do with liquidity, right? How much liquidity is there? How many shares are out there? How many demands are out there? Real demand over here. And so until you see that these people see the real demand, then they, turn on the supply and all that stuff. Again, it's just the structure of the market that we have right now. It's abnormal for sure, but for some reason it's legal at the moment. So that's why they do it. That's why they are able to do what they do. And it's not typically, it's not fair. Typically, it's not fair for a retail investor to come in and trade like the professional. So that's why traders lose most of the time, because they don't realize that they are trading against the computer here. And on top of that, you're trading against the system that doesn't allow you to win. Yes, some people win, and then they feel like they're, the greatest people on earth to time the market just right? But I guarantee you, if you do this enough time, I'm sure you're not going to be able to be, like the billionaire status, okay? Because you need other knowledge there too. In addition, so, I'm taking Keith Gill as an example here. Yes, investing in GameStop is one, but also investing in it and stay with it and stick with it, and also, understand the technical analysis of something, right? And the catalyst that is needed, the time and patience that you have to employ, and the risk taking, ability for him too. So again, it's a combination of things here. I don't know why I'm going off that tangent, but I mean, to win in this market, you have to have your own edge. Whatever your edge is, hone on it, right? And so the external factors shouldn't even taken in consideration. Yes, temporarily it could, buck your trend a little bit here. Depends on what you hold in your portfolio. But with GameStop though, I mean, how can you go wrong with this company, right? Of course, like I've listened to a lot of people, bashing GameStop still, even at this price point, at this, earnings report. One of the things that I've noticed that people are kind of bashing it on now is because the operational, right? They always bring it up where we're not profitable in the full fiscal year. If you do the trailing 12, right, this is the pain point that we've seen for this company. However, I like to caution people too that GameStop right now is operating in the a dire strait market condition. Okay, meaning the economy is not doing well. So of course, yes, if you do the fourth quarter, right? I mean the trailing 12, it looks bad. But even the bad, like the bad news, it's only like $15 million in the negative operationally. So what does that tell me? It tells me you just need to close a few more stores. That's it, right? And of course now, perhaps this is why he was, trying to sell out the Canadian stores and the French stores, right? So those gonna go next, obviously, because we need to come out positive in the fiscal year, full fiscal year. This is what we want. And then if you do the annual, obviously, this is what the pain point is, right? Of course, annual to annual, fiscal to fiscal. Yes, we still have something to desire, but we're inching closer to the positive full fiscal year here. Right now, I'm just reveling on how amazing this number is. I know for some people it's not that amazing. I get it. But to come from losing so much money and then operating at this particular junction where the economy is not doing well, people are laying off like crazy, stores are closing like crazy, retail business are not in a good light. Okay, consumers has been beaten down to the point where they are unable to buy these type of items. But even then, we're still coming out ahead. Fourth quarter, obviously, this is the quarters that we've been kind of expecting it to be wow, right? Because last year we did a little bit better than this year. Okay, $100 million, but we were, our top line revenue was a little bit higher. So yeah, I mean, to me, again, because I feel like because of the market condition, the economy, I'm willing to cut them some slack here, at the very least. Okay, 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Machine learning is advancing, but businesses wonder if some machines can keep up.
Let's welcome our new coworker, Jeff.
All right, sorry about that. I just got home, so. All right, let's go. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I love that song too. Okay, so get back to the earnings report. Obviously, again, like I said, bad economy, great earnings because of that. Okay. Now, of course, yes, it's more to be desired, but because they have a interest payment or interest, what is this called? Whatever this is. Interest based on investment coming in, it kind of covers some of that, loss a little bit. But again, even the full fiscal year that was $17 million in the negative, it's not enough to cripple them. Okay. Now, of course, this is what we want to see, where it is a, 10%, 10%, you guys. This is crazy. Of course, this is accounted for the, interest that comes from the 4 point whatever billion dollars in cash, marketable security, and all that stuff. Now, to me, that's amazing already. Hopefully, he's not gonna use too much to buy into Bitcoin and still, have some cushion of marketable security in order to at least cushion the blow of whatever unexpected economy that, based on Anthony over here, thinking that Trump is. I'm not saying, okay, I know. You could say that Trump has some impact on the market. But my point is, like, the market's going to go down anyway, right? And I think, I don't think it's going to keep going up forever till the end of time, until the liquidity come back, right? The M2 money supply, okay? So M2 money supply has been kind of, trimming down because the Fed was, tightening. They were selling off security or whatever they were holding on their balance sheets little by little. But based on Jerome Powell, who was saying about how he's going to slow down the rate of selling security. Now, so that's going to kind of ease the market condition a little bit, ease the financial condition a little bit. So that's why we're expecting Bitcoin to kind of perk up a little bit too, based on the liquidity pouring back in. Now, even though the United States has been kind of like tightening the cycle a little bit, the rest of the world has not. The rest of the world has already been lowering the rate like crazy because, again, they didn't have any, the reserve status. So, of course, that's why their inflation is going to be a lot higher than the U.S. And the U.S. kind of have that shield because, we are the world reserve currency here. And so, again, that's why stablecoin is so important, right? Because it's going to bring more and more people to be in dollar. And dollar is going to become stronger too, based on that. But again, that's all depends on, the tariffs and all that stuff, right? If you think it's going to impact the market, it's only temporarily because it's only one-time thing, right? Because tariffs implemented one time, it's not an ongoing thing at all. If anything's going to be increasing, it's just going to be in the beginning of the year. And then the rest of the year is going to be smooth from here, right? So that's my logic. Unlike the inflation, though, if the Fed were to lower the rate, obviously that inflationary impact is going to be more severe than tariffs, I think, Now, I don't know if you heard about Trueflation. I just heard about that one from Pompliano guy. I'm sure you probably hear about him from time to time. but because he talk about Bitcoin a lot, so I'm sure right now it's more than ever people gonna hear about that. Okay, so from this trueflation, it just, I guess, it measured the inflation quicker than what the Fed is trying to measure, because remember, they were changing the way that they were calculating the inflation. Okay, so since January of 2020, had you had $1, your $1 is now only worth 64 cents. No, 74 cents. Okay, based on this. So inflation is eating up. Okay, eating up your buying power for sure. In the last week, it went down a little bit, not by much, but in comparison, right, year over year, it's crazy. Okay, now, this is measuring since 2020. So again, it's crazy, right? Now, if you want to see the most recent one, I guess, I don't know if you could see that one yesterday, the trend. Okay, the rate of inflation coming down. Today, I wonder if there's a pricing, maybe index. Oh, maybe I have to pay for this inflation. Here we go. So based on this particular website, obviously, again, they're saying that it's more accurate than what the Fed is trying to tell us. So based on this, though, the inflation in the US, it's only 1.7. Now that's still inflationary. It doesn't mean that, it's deflationary where it's -1 or anything like that. But at least it's lower than what the Fed is trying to tell us it was. Okay, the CPI that was told to us by the Fed was around 3% or something like that. So with that in mind, the true inflation, the real inflation, is lower. So typically when that happens, there's a discrepancy, then the Fed should be lowering the rate. And usually they are following, like they are not doing it on timely at all. Maybe because they use the wrong inflation data. And so inevitably at some point you're gonna see that the Fed's gonna have to lower the rate so quickly because, things gonna start, to hit the fan here. And so again, that's why tariffs, I'm sure the reason Trump is trying to scare tariffs it's a battle here, okay? He's trying to get Jerome to lower the rate, but Jerome didn't lower the rate. He was supposed to lower the rate a couple weeks ago, but he didn't. So there's a battle here, obviously, but again, just rest assured, inflation is going to come down, and it is coming down already based on, the number that the Fed tells us. Which means, yes, the Fed's gonna have to lower the rate at some point. Right now, there's a political race here to try to make, somebody feel bad or whatever. Hold on, let me see. So based on this, though, they are keeping track just two important ones where one Ethereum and then one Bitcoin, obviously. So Bitcoin is still at 87,000. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, if GME were to only use 1.3 billion, right? Divided by, if they were to go in, of course, there's a fee associated with that, right? So let's just use that one. So they would have this much Bitcoin right now. Of course, this is speculation until they they file to see how many Bitcoins they are going to acquire and all that stuff. That's for next quarter to be excited about. But any amount of Bitcoin will be bullish for sure into this company for sure. I mean, the price action, of course, I'm not too worried about the downtrend here because of the tariffs announcement or whatever announcement there was happened today. It will correct itself because remember, there's a lot of short interest here that is still here that may not even close out yet, right? So the idea is that how many people have been shorting this company for the last 3 years, and whether those people is going to stay or not. Yes, give me 1 second. And hold on 1 second, you guys. Okay, so now of course again, price action is going to do the thing that it does all the time. So just be aware of that. Fluctuation comes in, again, a lot of traders coming in. You have to understand the volatility based on so many people coming in. That's why I'm so excited. I know I'm excited about this. I'm not. I feel like all over the place at the moment, right? Now let's talk about this convertible notes here. Now we have two different class of stock. I know I've been talking about how GME only have one class of stock. Now another type of class is entering into existence. And of course, this is allowed, obviously. Corporate could do this type of thing where the goal is to increase the shareholder equity for sure. And this is the smartest way to do it. Of course, this is the playbook of MicroStrategy, right? This convertible note has no interest at all. So it's almost like you are able to borrow money from your family or your friend for free for 5 years. And whatever you do with that money, obviously, did it say here that it's going to go to buy Bitcoin? But we kind of assume that it's going to be for Bitcoin, right? Yeah, it doesn't say here, but of course, it's it's right in front of my face right here. So yes, the verbiage is there that they are going to use this cash to buy Bitcoin. So very interesting, right? Because who would want to buy this type of convertible senior notes? Well, I could think of a couple of people. Of course, you could say, well, short seller could get into that too. But the verbiage here is that they are only looking for the qualified institutional buyer. So they might be selective, who knows how thorough they are to kind of select those type of institutional buyer. What type of buyer are they going to select to buy into it? Who knows? Maybe they already have the buyers already and they're just announcing it, right? But who would want to give them $1.3 billion without interest, right? In my mind, there's a couple of two type of institution, right? Number one, shorters. Obviously, they would want, to have some, way of converting the convertible note into shares at a later date, which is 5 years from now, which again, it's not going to dilute the current shareholder per se, but they have the ability to do that if they wanted to convert it to shares. The hope is that the share is going to go up in price eventually. And so it could be the institution that are believing in the company for a very, whether it's good earnings, good future, bright future ahead of time, bright future ahead for the business itself, the core business, or again, they just want to expose themselves to Bitcoin. Remember, as an institution, right, or even regular people too, that are not exposing to Bitcoin, they want to buy into Bitcoin because they want some exposure, right? And on top of that, this is the easiest way to get exposure to Bitcoin. And on top of that, you don't even have to pay fee. Right? That's again a good idea too, because if you buy ETF Bitcoin, you have to pay fee. And then people were like, well, why don't you just buy Bitcoin straight up? It's like, well, you can. I mean, that's probably a better investment if you only want Bitcoin, right? But if you want a shares that has been shorted to oblivion, okay, again, speculation here, I have no proof. A company that has been shorted to oblivion, and now they are able to add Bitcoin into their balance sheet to add value to shareholder, okay, to the company, to whatever, that is going to be repriced. And what happened to the short thesis, right? Short thesis is that GME is worthless. GME is going bankrupt. GME doesn't have a business model that works, which is not true. It does, works. It just doesn't make as much money as people expect them to be, right? Excuse me. So with that, with that opinion in mind, I'm sure people would be like, okay, well, there's an exposure to Bitcoin, risky asset, high risk. And then on top of that, again, there's a lot of gamblers out there too, right? who might be thinking that the GME is going to go to the moon at some point in time. I'm included in that too, obviously. But the point is that, again, there's a lot of risk exposure to this asset class, both in GME and Bitcoin. But there are a lot of people, traders and the like, okay, that are going to flock into this type of stock because they now have the ability, okay, to trade in and out, okay? That's where the volatility comes. That's where the price discovery comes. Because without the volatility, you cannot discover the price in the future. And again, that's why when shares not being traded hand, okay, 1 million here and there, you don't see much price action at all. So now you need volume, okay? So every time you have some volume, you're gonna have some volatility there. Yes, people are gonna flock in for sure. I'm telling you, just get ready for the volume to come in. Hopefully, it's gonna be a billion shares being traded, right? The more shares being traded, the better, because then price gonna keep hopefully going up, right? Or it could go down too. So just be careful with that. If you know how to time it right, just buy puts and all that stuff. Go for it. I just don't do it myself. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. You're welcome to do it on GME, because in my opinion, if you want to short this thing, I'm sure retail is going to try to short this thing too, because they hate Bitcoin and they hate GME, right? Lots of haters out there who would love to wage war on shareholders here. Of course, as a shareholder, time is on my side, right? And my share would never go expire. So go ahead. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Okay. Welcome to it. You're welcome to it. Shorters and the like. I love them all. Okay. So, okay. So again, I don't know. Hopefully tomorrow we're going to know more, or a couple more weeks. Hopefully they're going to update us, before earnings to see how many Bitcoin they were able to acquire. But of course, people are going to dig like crazy, right? If they already have Bitcoin in their treasury. So let's listen into this. This is Pompliano. He talked
more than 33 There's a global race underway to see who can acquire the most amount of Bitcoin. We saw MicroStrategy buy more than $33 billion for it. That's 506,000 Bitcoin since August 2020. Companies like Metaplanet, Senoir Scientific, Tesla, and Block, they all followed suit as well. We've got various large financial institutions. They're pounding the pavement to help their clients get exposure to Bitcoin via the newly approved ETFs as well. BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, ARK Invest, Bitwise, and many, many others. There's no denying that Wall Street has finally arrived, and they all want Bitcoin. But the nation states, they're not going to be left behind. So El Salvador, Bhutan, Abu Dhabi, and Russia all started buying and mining Bitcoin as well. This was quickly followed by the leader of the free world, the United States government, who decided it was time to establish the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve a few weeks ago. That is a lot of large pools of capital, all competing to purchase as much Bitcoin as possible. They want to get it so that you and everyone else can't have it. And as if that wasn't enough, we found out yesterday that there will be a new entrance to the race. Gamestop, the former meme stock, announced unanimous board approval of an update to its investment policy, which will now allow Bitcoin to become a Treasury reserve asset. Now, this just isn't another random company announcing the desire to buy Bitcoin, though. GameStop has a legion of retail investors that want to see them put their nearly $5 billion of balance sheet cash into the digital currency. I spoke with two different GameStop shareholders after the announcement yesterday, and both, frankly, they can only be described with one word: giddy. It's not clear how much of that $5 billion is going to be put into Bitcoin, but my guess is it won't be 1% to 2%. Instead, Chairman Ryan Cohen is likely to take a big bet on Bitcoin as a balance sheet asset. Now, why do I think he's going to make this big bet? Well, first of all, you don't go through the bureaucratic board approval process for a small, teeny little 1% to 2% allocation. You only put the time and energy in to get that change to your investment policy if you're looking to put a material amount of your cash into Bitcoin. Second of all, Ryan Cohen, he only follows 3 accounts on X. They're GameStop's corporate account, the @Bitcoin handle, and Bitcoin Magazine. Now, that's the behavior of a hardcore Bitcoiner that's looking to buy more Bitcoin. Only 3 accounts, and 2 of them are Bitcoin related. Because here's the thing. We are going to see many more corporate executives fall victim to the same feeling that retail investors have felt for nearly 15 years. Here's how it works. You hear about Bitcoin. You buy a little bit. You start learning more about the asset. And then eventually, you realize that you don't have enough Bitcoin. And now you are scrambling around looking for more money so you can buy as much Bitcoin as possible. That's happened to you. That's happened to me. And now it's going to happen to corporate executives. Because the corporate executives, they're going to start with their personal money. But eventually they'll be tempted to use balance sheet cash. If it's good enough for the US government's reserve, then shouldn't it be good enough for corporate balance sheets as well? Well, I think so. And there's millions of other people who think so as well. And the companies that have pursued this strategy in public markets so far, they have been rewarded very nicely financially. So we should expect more companies and governments to buy as much Bitcoin as they can. Here's the thing. Young Bitcoiners, the people who love the asset, who think that it's going to continue to perform well, those young Bitcoiners are rising into positions of power and influence. That should continue for the next few decades. They're taking over their boss's job and their boss's job. And they all believe that they are personally underexposed to the best performing asset of the last 15 years. They'll do whatever they can to get more Bitcoin, including they're going to use balance sheet cash to make monster bets on their best idea.
Wow.
There's a global race under.
I love it. I love it. Well put. Couldn't said it better. Of course, he's been, advocating for Bitcoin for a long time. Before the FTX debacle, I'm sure he lost a lot of money in the FTX lawsuit and all that stuff. So, of course, he was promoting FTX and all that stuff too. So, of course, this is just like the anonymous. Now, there is a, I guess there's an idea that Bitcoin was used as a swap to GME during the FTX. Okay. Now, I don't know how that worked either, because there was a tokenized, backed by the FTX, claiming that it was 1-to-1 GME and all that stuff. Cannot understand that in my, I'm trying to understand that to a level in which I could explain to you, but I can't. Just know that there's some swaps that is happening where they use Bitcoin as collateral to short GameStop. because they don't have enough shares, in the regular market, because we've been kind of buying and holding and all that stuff, right? Again, speculation. Who knows if that's the case? But all I know is that when the FTX was announcing that they are trading GME on the blockchain, they were stated, that it was 1-to-1 back. And whoever bought that token was wiped out. So, meaning that they didn't actually buying the share. So where does that money go, right? So that's the idea, is that perhaps they use that money to buy Bitcoin, pumping their own back and all that stuff to, to short Bitcoin some more. Use Bitcoin, whatever Bitcoins that they have, as a collateral in order to short GameStop in the real market. I know, complicated, right? Because it's fraud and all that stuff. Hopefully somebody's going to find out, right? The new SEC is coming tomorrow, so that's an exciting thing too. Paul Akin, obviously, that guy has been talking about, the crypto space in a general sense, that the SEC should just have a hands-off approach unless it is a crime, right? Unless it's harmful to investor, and in which case, you could prosecute people who are pumping and dumping and all that stuff, right? There's law associated with that, but for some reason, SEC just doesn't want to go after these people. There's evidence of pump and dump all the time, like. So since they don't use the law to go after these people, they went after Ripple, but Ripple never pump and dump anything, right? So that's curious to me. No idea why that is the case though. But of course there's a lot of like conflict of interest and all that stuff. Crazy. Anyway, so yeah. With the Bitcoin treasury, I'm hoping it's going to be a lot. Like Pompliano was saying, right? They're not going to just, bet small amount. So all in or nothing. That'd be great, right? Of course, great for Bitcoiners too, but obviously it's going to be good for shareholder. Again, because then the share is going to be valued differently. Like you no longer valued the company based on the balance sheet itself as a, how much money they're able to make from the business itself. Now, how much asset can you have? And since this type of asset is so volatile, it's very hard for people to evaluate, and that's going to cause a lot of speculation too. And speculation breeds a lot of price movement, in my opinion, because again, now you're going to swing wildly up and wildly down. So people who are looking at the volatility, waiting for that volatility, you're welcome. It's coming. It's coming. Just wait, okay? I'm telling you, when you say you're missing out on MSTR, well, this is it. This is much better than MSTR, okay? Even Charles Payne, which is the prominent guy in Fox News talking about GME, a lot of eyes on these people here too. I mean, look at how many followers does he have? Close to 1 million follower right there. So a lot of people are talking about it. I just saw Andre Jake too, talking about it. Again, I'm telling you, GME as a company has never exited out of the human psychology, ever. Okay, and it will stay in human psychology for a long time, till the end of humanity. Okay, because of the stuff that happened to it, how famous it's been, and now it's going to be the talk of the town. Whether they're going to choose to participate in it or not, that's on them. You know, a lot of Bitcoiners are crazy about their investment. Like I said before, so are we. And so when you combine the two, you're going to see something amazing. You know, if not tomorrow, it's going to be the next earnings report, right? When we know exactly how much Bitcoin, you know, GME is acquiring. And on top of that, you know, what else are they going to acquire? Perhaps they're just going to use half on Bitcoin and then half on acquisition on some other companies, right? I'm sure there's a reason why he had not employed any, look into any businesses to buy into. Perhaps, again, the economy, right? It's the economy, stupid type thing. There's nothing, I mean, to buy. Yeah, everything's just so expensive, except Bitcoin, quite frankly. BB, is there offering private for, I don't know what that means. For institution, you mean? Yes, it is a private offering. It's not public. So there's a lot of speculation that it's probably, you know, the Sultan of Ahmadid here, been kind of looming around, tweeting about Bitcoin GME all of a sudden, right? A lot of poking fun and all that stuff. Of course, Peter Schiff, you know, chiming in. A lot of enthusiasm, right? So top 5 company, of course, you know, yeah, so $4 billion. Mara has $4 billion worth of Bitcoin. If we do $6 billion worth of Bitcoin, of course, we would be number 2. Again, you know, are we betting betting big or not? Go big or go home type thing. But even if they just put, you know, $1 billion right there, Tesla, they still have $1 billion worth of Bitcoin right there. So that's remained to be seen. Okay. So what is this? This is a price history here for people. So apparently they could convert it into cash or shares of GameStop Class A common stock, or a combination of the two. Okay, cool. So again, hopefully by that time, by that 5-year end, you will get the price of Bitcoin is going to be higher. Then it's like a free money situation, right? Because you got that money for free. Yes, you have to pay the principal back, I'm sure, but not with any interest at all. So, like I said, this is probably due to people, you know, institution who would love to see the squeeze happen as well. You know, again, there's a lot of institution out there who want to get in on the play, but the reason why they didn't get in on the play is because either, you know, they are frowned upon because of the network effect, right? If you make a move to kind of graded GME, that are not, again, frowned upon by the network of people that you are associating with, right? And it happens all the time, you guys. Like, don't think that doesn't happen where, oh, you know, it's a conspiracy theory. No, because there's a reason why the analysts out there that have brains of themselves don't cover GameStop. Why not? It's the most interesting stock in the history of freaking stock market. But for some reason, only one analyst, cover GameStop. And you have to understand, and you have to ask yourself why. Only one. Okay. But anyway, so again, a lot of people can think of this as a dilution, but again, it's not immediately. It's for later on, for 5 years from now. Hopefully 5 years from now, GameStop shares and the company is going to improve more and more, even more, right? Doing something else with their cash pile, or just again trade freaking Bitcoin and then sell at the top, right? There's a verbiage in there too that he's gonna sell, Bitcoin. And so right now, at the moment, it's still at $80,000 there, 87,000. So like I said, it could roll down a little bit because of tariffs, right? Remember, April 2nd, that's another announcement on the steel tariffs. So if Ryan Cohen could wait a couple of days after the tariffs announcement, it could kind of give GME an opportunity to buy perhaps, the double bottom effect here. That happens here too, right there. Anthony, are you a gamer? Me. Yes. I wouldn't say I'm a gamer. I do play games. Not recently though. I've been kind of busy and not feeling like I was wanted to play any games. But yeah, I like RPG and all that stuff. I played The Witcher. I love that game. What's the other one? I like The Sim. I used to play The Sim a lot. Like some chill game, like not much. A friend of mine turned me on to Elden Ring. I finished that game. Very, very proud of myself too, because it was the hardest game I've ever played. But that was good. But yeah, thank you for asking. All right, guys, I know I've been kind of like babbling on and on. Let's look at the price real quick. Oh, it's perking back up a little bit. Not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, I've seen a lot of negativity even until now at the moment, even though they've been kind of doing well. But again, hey, again, this is a stock market, right? You have people disagreeing with you. That's what makes the price action happens, because when people are vehemently disagreeing with you and all that stuff, they're bound to be somebody who will be like, no, actually, I think it's this way, right? So that's why they bet it up, bet it down, and all that stuff. You see the price action. Because Jimmy is most known by gamers, I think. Oh, okay. Hey, that could be too, of course, right? I mean, I disagree with that sentiment, because there's a lot of option trader too, like a lot of traders, a lot of people who like to gamble, on anything. Doesn't mean I think Jimmy, yes, most known by gamer, sure. That's true. That's true. All right, guys, I think I got pooped out at the moment. I know I feel like I cover everything already that I want to talk about today. All in all, I think it's a good thing that they are, using MicroStrategy to, buy into Bitcoin. MicroStrategy playbook, obviously, Michael Saylor kind of welcome GME crowd to be in there. So this type of thing is going to, generate a lot of buzz, a lot of hype. And look at this. AI, right? 1 billion at least. Oh my god.
Spending money like I don't care. Mining coin in my underwear. I'm gonna be a Bitcoin billionaire.
Oh my god. Okay, this is what AI is for, you guys. You know. This is so funny. Oh, okay, he's doing a poll. Let's see. What's the minimum amount of Bitcoin GME needs to buy to be respected by Bitcoiner? Okay, let's see. King mover. All right, let's go. 3 billion. I know for a fact. Okay, Ryan Cohen listened to my shows. So Ryan, okay? $3 billion. That's what we want. $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's half of your treasury. So let's go. Let's do it. Rip the band-aid off. Remember, rip the band-aid off. Just do, if you want to do two buys at a time, if you get scared a little bit, it's okay. So you just do like I said before, $1.1 billion. Okay, and then the next one, another 1.1 billion. Just to, average out, just in case there's some price fluctuation and then scare people out a little bit. It's okay. Don't get scared. Just get it. So, 40, close to 50%, saying that. That's good. I like it. All right, guys. I am going out, signing off. And hopefully you guys are doing well. Gonna be excited for tomorrow. It's Thursday tomorrow. Yeah, Thursday tomorrow. So, yeah, stay vigilant. Stay happy. Okay? All right. I'll see you when I see you.